Go Blue, everybody. We got fall camp updates, position preview, and a lot more coming up next on Michigan Wolverines Live. Here we go, all gas, no brakes, for another episode of Michigan Wolverines Live. It's Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. My name's John D'Adamo, and I'm going to be taking you through the next hour and a half or so. Follow me on Twix, at John D'Adamo. We're coming to you live from YouTube, from X, from Twitch, but also we sound great on radio. So check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon iHeart. Leave a rating or review. And of course, hit the like button, subscribe, share this out with at least one friend. If everybody shares this out with a couple of friends, this link, we're going to blow this thing up. There it is, a little helpful visual aid. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. It's that simple. Send us a super chat for your comment or question to be read on screen. It only takes $1.99. Put up a little thing. That's where we're going to take the comments or questions from the super chats. So go ahead and consider doing that if you'd like to have your question asked on screen. And as always, my partner in crime, TJ Ronin, in the house. Here we go, fall. We're really into fall camp now.
We are in it, man. And yes, we got some interesting tidbits regarding camp, what's going on. Excited to share a little bit of recruiting news and a really good show to talk about, especially some rankings, John. So we'll get into those as well.
Absolutely. And we got everybody here. We got Nick here telling everybody to hit the like button. Appreciate you. We got Blue Wolverine in the house. We got Jeremy Adams. Lots of folks here hanging out with us. Doug and so many more of our members. We got Kinetic in the house. Thanks all so much. Tree Dog. We got Jeez Louise, who is a Connor Stallions espionage member. Thank you.
We saw that. Thank you, Jeez Louise. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being a part of the community.
Jason's here. Lance's new mod, reminding everyone to hit that like button. Thank you, Lance. Lance has stepped up and has been posting those links. He's been doing it. He's been doing the damn thing. Thank you. Thanks to Lance and everybody who's stepped up as a moderator.
All the mods. Thank you. You guys have been great, honestly. Thank you.
Okay, without further ado, let's jump right in because, folks, it's fall camp. It's happening, and boy, do we have some thoughts and some updates here for you. Obviously, video was released, so you could see some of practice here. Coach Moore in his element, right? Being the commissioner, quote unquote, of the matchups in practice, and just a lot going on. You can see some of the players in the video that they released. And some of what they've done. You could see matchups. You could see Marsh here. You could see some of what they're doing. Right, offense versus defense. It's looking good. It's looking exciting. Cautious optimism, right, TJ? Cautious optimism.
What are you talking about? Bryce Underwood is the greatest ever. He can throw the football with both hands, John.
Oh, right. Shame on me. Yes. Left hand, right hand. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. He's Mike Vick and Tom Brady. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, cautious optimism. We're gonna, we'll get into that, John. We'll talk about it a little bit more, obviously about being a little more cautious optimism, but there is some positive buzz coming out of fall camp. And we could talk about, we can hit on what the word is in terms of what Chip Lindsey's trying to do, John, with the passing game. Hit on that.
Yeah, so Chip Lindsey was brought in to overhaul the offense and specifically the passing game, right? He was brought in to do that. Came over from UNC, brought Drake May to very high draft pick, right? And clearly you can't really go much further down, especially in the from 127th in passing efficiency in the country. There's really nowhere to go but up. And what Chip Lindsey wants to do is bring in more explosives, to have the ability to pass the ball down the field, stretch the field, but keep the identity of Michigan football. That credit to On3 on that quote with the explosives. I will say I also noticed in some of my own film study and research on this, the running back screen game is coming back, folks. When you look at what Chip Lindsey did at UNC, when you look at what he did at Auburn, when you look at what he did at other places, he loves to get his running backs out in a little bit of space and get them the ball, even if it's not a traditional handoff or situation like that. He likes his running back screens. We've been screaming for running back screens. What do you make of all this and kind of what we're seeing with Chip Lindsey and instituting this newer spread and smash offense?
I mean, what I make of it is the balanced offense Sherrone Moore is looking for, which is a versatile passing attack to match the running game. That Justice Haynes, RB1, shout out to Juju. I agree, Juju. But we'll see. Jordan Marshall, Justice Haynes, we'll see who becomes RB1. But like the point is, John, the passing game will have an effectiveness and a versatility we've not seen in some time. You know, like, I mean, I guess you could argue the 2023 offense was pretty good, and it was, but I would argue the diversity of this offense should be greater. Again, we have to see this in action, right? This is all slightly in theory. It is in practice, right? They're practicing it right now, and it appears to be the intention. But we do have some proof of concept because Chip Lindsey has done these things at other schools. He has had a top 10 offense at North Carolina. Now, is this going to be a top 10 offense in year one? I'm not ready to put it at a top 10 offense, but do I think it could be in the 60s, top 70s? Yes. If it's in the top 50s, then let's go. But we don't need it to be, like Joel Klatt, which we'll talk about later when we talk about the AP rankings. Look, he has Michigan ranked pretty high. We'll get into that more, but he says in the video, Michigan had nearly the worst offense in college football last year, but their defense was so elite that it was still good enough to go 8-5 and beat two very strong teams at the end of the season. Well, now you have a quarterback who's competent. Now you have an offensive coordinator who's experienced and competent, who's going to be bringing a versatile attack. You've added experienced veteran coaches and Soup Campbell and Castillo at offensive line. Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about this. I think, and now this is where cautious. No, I think we could be optimistic here. I think this offense will be effective. Yeah. The cautious optimism is in terms of this, John, would be, okay, Bryce is 18. Let's see him get comfortable. If he is comfortable, then damn, this offense could be something special. Let me pull it back. Special should be effective. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. And not only that, the RPOs that are expected to also be implemented in this offense. So I'm excited about that as well.
Absolutely. And even last year when Marion Hampton was kind of relied on more, Drake May was gone, UNC still had stats that I think we would take. So like 51st in yards per pass, we'd take that over last year. Oh, yeah. 67th in passes per game. Doesn't sound very sexy, but we would take it all day, every day after what we saw last year. So honestly, even in 2024, when the offense took a dip at UNC because Drake May was gone, well, passing game still wasn't bad. And I think we could, I think 2024 UNC rankings aren't crazy to think might occur at Michigan, right? Because that's without Drake May. That's with a freshman quarterback in who has never taken a snap in a college real game yet, other than the spring game. There's going to be growing pains with that. There's going to be offensive line figuring it out, who's at left tackle, all of that kind of stuff. But even if it's 2024 UNC, yeah, let's go. That's a playoff team.
Yeah, and we have the schedule to achieve that. And then to kind of hit on, John, the left tackle battle, there does seem to be some buzz for Andrew Babalola. And I know if our guy Michigander's in the chat, I haven't seen him yet, but Andrew Babalola, man. I mean, now that's not a name we were kind of talking about, but we might as well hit on it. There does appear to be some cautious optimism. You know, I think it was Chip Lindsey. Forgive me if it wasn't Chip Lindsey, but I think it was who said, in this day and age, if they're ready to play, you play them.
Yes, that was him.
Okay, so it was Chip Lindsey.
Yep.
So look, we have an Evan Link, Andrew Babalola battle right now. Now, is it Blake Frazier? I don't know. Sam Webb kind of threw that out there. We're in fall camp. We'll see if Blake Frazier gets in the mix. But I'll tell you right now, that's interesting. Because if Andrew Babalola is that guy and he's ready for it and he's ready for that role, I mean, left tackle is arguably the second most important position on the field. If he's ready for that and Bryce Underwood's ready for his role, yeah, this could be a pretty fun offense to watch. You know?
Yeah. The left tackle battle is really interesting because if you look at what Michigan has done in the past, they probably would at least start Evan Link for like 6 games before Babalola gets his shot, just because they want to go with the season hand for a while. That's the Jim Harbaugh. That was Harbaugh all day, every day. And so I gotta say, like, I think Babalola is eventually going to take that role. I'm kind of hoping they rip the Band-Aid off. It's going to be the New Mexico Lobos. Let's just see what we have.
So what I would like to see is they did it last year, rotate that left tackle a little bit. Jim Harbaugh's done that too. Jim Harbaugh's done the rotation of the tackles before. Remember Trente Jones slipping, man. Trente Jones. They did that with Trente Jones the season we won the title. So yeah, how about this? Just like you'll probably see at some other positions game 1, let's maybe put Evan Link in, see how he does. If he kind of stumbles, which we'll see, hopefully not. Put Andrew Babalola in there. Let's see what he does. Give these kids some reps. Best man, because the reality is, John, week 2, there's no room for error. Like we can't, so if Babalola is not ready, he can't play week 2. If Evan Link is our best opportunity to win, who gives us the best opportunity to win week 2? That's where I'm at. Because if we win week 2, everything's on the table. Everything, the playoffs, all that. So,
and it seems like Juan Castillo is part of this equation too. He seems like he's the go-to guy. For the players on the line. Like he's somebody that the players feel very comfortable going to, getting some advice, getting some pointers. Maybe the go-to guy's a little strong because obviously you've got Grant Newsome in there. But he seems to be somebody very approachable, very like the players seem to really enjoy learning from him.
Yeah, I mean, word is, and we'll give shout out to On3 here. Word is, Castillo is a big impact, for this offensive line, But yeah, I mean, let's kind of hit on it, John. Let's kind of hit on like some of what we're hearing or what the word is out of camp. Well, here's the very first thing. If you're ready, unless you had anything else?
Let's roll.
Okay. The defense is going to be a fucking problem in the best way possible. So word is that this defense is flying around and they look very, at this stage, week 1, and pads just came on Saturday. So it's just, but word is that the defense is looking really, really good. And not only are they looking really good, there's some players who are shining on the defensive side of the ball. One of those guys is TJ Metcalf. And what's interesting, John, I made a post because I got some word on my end that I got a text from one of my guys who has access to practices from time to time. And he said, TJ Metcalf's going to be a difference maker, a problem. Like he's already looks comfortable in this system. Like he already looks, and then what's crazy, and if anyone followed me on social media, the report from 247 and Wink Martindale had the very comments of saying they think TJ Metcalf's gonna be a really good player. He's like ahead of the curve, man. And so I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So TJ Metcalf looking good. Jair Hill has gotten some praise early on in camp right now. Appears to be looking good, ready to take that next step for him. And then Cam Brandt has been a name that has been apparently emerging early in camp right now, has played well, looks good, appears to be somebody who's going to get a lot of rotation, a lot of rep, a lot of opportunity. Very interested to see that. We saw him come on last season, and he wasn't just a guy. He was what I would consider an effective player in his position, right? He wasn't just out there. You heard his name. He was making impact. So that was good to hear. And then the linebackers appear to be Ernest Hausman and Jamar Browder, or not Jamar Browder, but my guy, why am I dropping his name right now? Jayshawn Barham, Jamar Browder.
Yeah.
Jayshawn Barham. It's the name on the topic banner.
The
but Jayshawn Barham, they're in year 2 of Wink. And by all accounts, like the defense, by all accounts, and now this is something that we see early in spring ball. We see this early in fall camp. Typically, the defense is ahead of the offense. And we'll get into the offense too, because I've gotten some information on that as well. But the defense, and we've talked about it all offseason, John. The anticipation is this will be a top 10 defense. I think at worst top 15. But if the accounts are true out of camp, that this defense is looking very strong already, like just because they're already comfortable with what Wink's doing, right? And what's interesting too is the defense. This is what's interesting too, though. This is a different offense. Now, granted, they had the opportunity to go against this offense in spring ball, so they have some familiarity to it. But at the same time, the offense is trying to confuse the defense in practice. Now, yes, there are, look, you play these guys every day. You're familiar with concepts and formations, of course. And you also are familiar with tendencies of players. But at the same time, the fact that the positive coming out of camp is this defense is just looking really, really good. To hit on some of the other players, John, Bryce Underwood. Look, I mean, I know there's been some word that Isaiah Hole's been talking very positively about what Bryce Underwood's been doing, but the reality is he's flashing. There was a video actually released very recently of him just dropping dimes. I mean, now is he gonna be dropping dimes all the time? I don't know. We have to see. We have to see how he is when it's live in front of, in front of opposing fans like in Norman, Oklahoma. But at the same time, it does appear that Bryce Underwood is taking considering the point in his development, true freshman, still 17, first fall camp. Right? It does appear that he is taking that on and he is up for the challenge. That appears to be the early indicator. So very excited to hear that. That's good. Now, I will say, though, there does appear to be some timing. There'd be some timing issues with some of the wide receivers getting the offense down. The offense does appear to be behind the defense, which, again, stress this, normal, because they just put on pads on Saturday. There's only been 1 week of fall camp. Very common for this to happen, but it does appear to be the word right now to fall camp that the offense is a bit behind. There is some timing issues going on, but remember, this is a brand new offensive concept that Chip Lindsey's bringing. They're going to need time to adjust. They're going to need, like, Wink is already, he's got a year in on Chip Lindsey, right? So that's so it's to be expected, but it doesn't mean there's not bright spots on the offensive side of the ball, because there is. One, obviously Bryce Underwood. The other is Andrew Sprague, bro. Andrew Sprague, who really came on at the end of the year last year. I think he started like the last 2 or 3 games. Where it is, this boy's about to be special, bro. This dude, we're talking all Big Ten type shit. Now, it doesn't mean this year all Big Ten, but it does mean at some point in this young player's career, we're looking at an all Big Ten player here. And that's big time, because Andrew Sprague is coming out of high school, he was a big time recruit. And then the other ones, which there's been praise. And now, so Donovan McCauley gave him praise, but there has been praise on my end as well that I've got Andrew Marsh and Jamar Browder, bro. We've talked about them. Anyone who's followed us,
they're going to play on Saturdays.
We have talked about them since they have committed, bro.
Yep.
Like,
we've had Andrew Marsh on the show, even.
Had him on the show. Jamar Browder, bro, who was ranked, I think, in the 700s or 800s or something like that, something crazy. I have said since the very player analysis video he committed has the best hands. If it's not the best, it's the second best hands in the entire class. His videos are just phenomenal. His ability to hands. I kind of want to pump the brakes, but I feel like this is the type of kid who would be playing on Sunday. He's got an ability to catch the ball, but naturally. Like it's not, and you're like, oh, well, not all wide receivers are not like this. He's a natural hand catcher with extremely gifted catchability. He's been making noise. He was making noise in spring ball. There's word that Andrew Marsh and Jamar Browder, I think Donovan McCoy said something along the lines of they're going to be really good, like really, really good. So let's keep our eye on that. Now, do I anticipate them to be extremely productive to start the year? Not so sure, because they do need to adjust to the game. Let's see how that goes. But I do anticipate Jamar Browder and Andrew Marsh to get some repetition, or
they're going to get their opportunity.
They're going to get, exactly, at some point in the year. And now what's going to be interesting to watch, John, is who gets it first, or who gets more playing time, because and I'll say this, the path to the field seems easier for Andrew Marsh than Jamar Browder, because Jamar Browder's got Donovan McCoy in front of him.
Right.
Who's wearing number one, right?
Marsh has Fred Moore, who I still think is going to show some things. But it's a bit of an easier path to get at least some, because remember, Chip Lindsey says he wants to find 6 receivers that can be on the field in rotation. So it's not just about who are the top 3. It's about who are the top 6. So when you look at it that way, Andrew Marsh and Jamar Browder both have an opportunity to be in the top 6.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting to hear these things. Now, again, it's so early in camp. They didn't practice Sunday, so they practiced in pads Saturday. They practiced in pads, I believe, Monday and today. So we have 3 practices in pads, and it's been 1 week. The very first week was really just installs and getting the guys ready, and conditioning, like getting the guys physically ready for ramping up camp. Essentially, was the first week. So. It's going to be interesting from here forward. What do we hear? What comes out of camp? Excited for it, man. But the 2 biggest things for me, John, and I'll let you, kind of hit on here.
Yeah.
Defense is looking as advertised, which that is the bread and butter, right? And then the fact that Bryce Underwood appears to be meeting the expectations 1 week into fall camp, which was really big for, again, a true 17-year-old who is 6'4", 228 pounds. Cannot wait to see him continue to progress, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a quick reminder to hit that like button. So I think that the one player, everybody in chat's like, wait, don't forget about Channing Goodwin. Okay, just because we haven't heard any smoke in the last few days, we all saw what happened in the spring game. I rewatched it last weekend. And Bryce and Channing Goodwin just seem to have something. I would actually be shocked if Channing Goodwin isn't in the 6. Like, I don't think he's going to be necessarily taking Samaj Morgan's job, but I would be kind of shocked if Channing Goodwin doesn't make the 6 top receivers, because of the clear chemistry between Bryce Underwood and Channing Goodwin. We saw it in the spring game. We heard about it outside of the spring game. It's a thing. And so, we aren't forgetting we just haven't heard any smoke out of the last couple of days, but that's still there from the spring game. I mean, that we all saw it. We were there.
Yeah. I mean, I've got nothing on my end regarding Channing Goodwin, and I've not heard anything from from the coaches and their press conference or anything like that. So, I mean, there's just no reason to force, we're only sharing what we've heard or what coaches have shared or anything like that. But it does appear that, the players we've hit on, I mean, I'm happy to hear about it. Again, only 3 padded practices. There's only so much information. I do wish, John, but I can understand why they don't, but I wish they would allow a public practice. A lot of schools do that. Like Nebraska's doing it. Although then somebody was like, well, Nebraska didn't do a spring game. Well, I want my spring game. So, I mean, I guess the question would be, John, what would you rather have? Would you rather have no spring game and a public practice, or would you rather have a spring game and no public practice? I'm going to be real with you. I need that spring game. That spring game is like, it helps you get through the off season,
Yeah, I need the spring game. I need a real game of football. That was so satisfying to watch, even though they were working things out.
Yeah.
It didn't look fantastic, except for the last play of the game, the final, that double reverse flea flicker situation that they did. That was fun. But inject that into my veins every
Yeah,
year, man.
need it.
Like it. I'd rather have practice be shut off and have that spring game open to the
Dude,
public.
I really feel Michigan needs to hire me because there's so much more they could do. Like if they sold more apparel, they could go to NIL or not only that, like the spring game's free. What if, and I know this may turn off some people, but what if it was just $5 and the $5 went to NIL? Right? Like there's ways to now don't get greedy. Let's not make it 10, let's not make it 15 or 20, right? Like a little something to help the revenue, right? Because now that the university now has to give 20 million in revenue share, and that's just for football, not basketball or any other sports. Actually, I just lied. That's not true. It is 20 million for all sports. Long story short, though, but 20 million, they have to make that up in the athletic budget. That's an opportunity, like sell more merchandise, player. Like they should have like when I go to Michigan Stadium, I should see apparel with players' jerseys and players' autographs and whatever. And if I buy a Bryce Underwood autograph fucking jersey, which is a crime that wasn't available, right? That should go to Bryce, or that should go to Ernest Hausman or whoever you're buying, even if it's a T-shirt with a jersey, screen printed on the back. I don't know. I just feel like there's a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, absolutely. More merch, more opportunities for our players to make some NIL money and everything else.
I'm telling you, when I can get a Jordan authentic Bryce Underwood jersey, I'm buying it. If anyone can tell me where to get it, and I'm not talking about one made in China, I'm talking about the authentic real deal, let me know because I'm going to buy it. But I haven't seen it anywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's keep an eye out. Okay, folks, one little disclaimer. So I've been seeing some commentary on Bryce Underwood's ability to throw with his left and his right hand. Now look, or his left and right arm. So let me say this. Do I think he has some throwing ability in his left arm? Sure. Do I think it's anywhere near as strong as his right arm? No, because it's extremely rare to be ambidextrous in that way.
Right.
Because of the amount of time you spend practicing, because of his high school career, his career going all the way back. Like when you have a hand that you favor and you're training it, you're practicing it, saying, oh, he's just as good on his left. That's what we call sunshine pumping. And folks, we need to just remember, like, Bryce Underwood's 17 years old. And what I fear is that we're going to hype him up. And then when he makes inevitable freshman mistakes, because I want him out there. I don't want to I want to roll with the guy that we paid $10 million to because he's the best damn recruit in On3 rankings history.
Well, and Michigan history. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I want him out there, but we all need to realize he's going to throw picks. He's going to make bad reads. He's going to do freshman things. And just remember that. Remember last year when everybody was getting all excited about the 86-87% Davis Warren completion and all that silliness. Folks, let's just remember, let's avoid sunshine pumping and remember that he's a freshman. He's 17 years old. He's going to make mistakes, but shit, he's still going to be better at 17 years old or 18 years old than anything. Last year.
Than any of them last year. Right. No, and I agree. That's the goal of this channel. We're going to try and be mindful of information that's coming out of camp, whether it be from the coaches, whether it be from other sources, whether it be from our own individuals giving us information. We're going to try and be mindful. So we'll see how it goes, because last year, anyone who's rocked with us since last year knows a lot of us took some of that bait. A lot of us were like, oh, Alex Orji's an improved passer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the offensive line looks like it's gelling together. Evan Link looks, come to find out, no. Come to find out, we had a quarterback problem that many were concerned about before the spring game. Spring game kind of eased a little concerns because they actually looked somewhat, competitive, right? And then in the fall camp, there was a lot of positive buzz that there was Davis Warren just as accurate accurate guy. And then you have Jack Tuttle, who unfortunately was injured, but he's the old veteran, experienced, reliable. And then you got Alex Orji, who's the improved passer with the dual threat capability. But the truth is, yeah, Johnny knows, because one of our fellow content creators, one of our fellow Avengers. Yeah, so I mean, this year we're going to try and be mindful walking into this, but I will say I'm buying the hype on the defense. I felt the defense would be. I have felt the defense was going to be good going into the. I'm buying the hype. I am buying the hype. Guess what? I'm buying the hype on the defense. I'm buying the hype on the depth of the defensive line. I'm buying the hype on the Jair Hill step. Here's some hype that I'm kind of like, it's the Shamari Earls hype. If anyone's noticed, I've not talked too much about it, but there is some Shamari Earls hype where like people are like, oh, Will Johnson, like they're really talking about this kid in the same. And I'm like, that's big shoes. Like I believe Shamari Earls is going to be good, but I'm not sure he's ready to contribute. Like if anyone remembers about Will Johnson, it wasn't until the end of the year, his freshman year, where he started making real impact. He was having his freshman growth curve. These kids are going to have that. It's so rare for a true freshman to like walk on the field on Saturdays and be beyond his years. So rare. So the Shamari Earls one, I'm kind of, let's see. The left tackle one with the Andrew Babaloa, potentially making a play there. Let's see. I got to see that one. I'll tell you this too. I'm buying the hype on Donovan McCulley. I think he's gonna be good. I'm not saying he's gonna be All-American. It's nothing like that. I just think Donovan McCulley is going to be a pretty good and productive player for us this year. What's funny is he said in his interview, John, he was like, my goal is like 10 touchdowns and 1,000 yards, which is funny. I've said I'm anticipating Donovan McCulley to get 1,000 yards, and I would say 7 to 8 touchdowns. So I'm close to what his goals are. But yeah, so and then here's some other hype I'm buying. Jordan Marshall, Justice Haynes, I think they're going to be really good. I think they'll be really good. Yeah.
Well, that's believable because of what Jordan Marshall did last year and some of the film I've looked at on Haynes. Mark Rogers and I broke down some of the Justice Haynes because we were doing our Rose Bowl watch party for members on the Voice of College Football, and the reality is like he was serving as backup in that game, but he lit it up every time he was on the field. So I think both of them are going to be good. The only reason I'm going to hold back a little on McCulley is because I've heard about how improved the wide receivers are and all of this stuff. And the only one that's actually fit the hype was Roman Wilson the last 2 years, right? Roman Wilson legitimately did improve significantly and was extremely important to winning the national title. But overall, I haven't really seen it. So I'm cautiously optimistic because it does seem like he's going to be the X. And that's a big deal because he's beating out people who have been in the program for that role. But, so do I think he's going to be the best of what we have? Yeah. Do I think he's going to be like Randy Moss or whatever? No. Like, obviously not.
And I hope I hope no one thinks I'm selling that. I'm not selling. No, that's not what I'm selling here. I'm just saying he's going to be the wide receiver one on this team. I do think he can touch 1,000 yards, and I do think he can get 7 to 8 touchdowns. That's not Randy Moss. We're not talking nothing crazy. He's not a Calvin Russell. He's not that alpha first round. I don't think. But prove me wrong, please. I'd love him to be that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I think he's going to be pretty good for us. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited though. I mean, we're getting close, man. It's August 5th. Our first game's what? 24 days away or 25?
Yeah, 25 days away.
Yeah.
There it is. So just, all I'm saying to everybody is just when you hear things and they sound a little outrageous or they sound a little bit like smoke and maybe just like remember what happened last year. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So let's hit a couple of super chats. Thank you, everybody, for getting in your super chats. You still have some time because I got to read through some of these if you want to get one in before we go to our next topic. Courtney Harper. So not my fiance, Courtney, but Courtney Harper with the 5. I watched the show last week. John's been lying this entire time with his professional, calm demeanor, but couldn't hide it Thursday. Keep that energy. Thank you. Thank you, Courtney. I don't let that side out too often just because usually people don't deserve that. Usually people are decent people and they're trying to act in good faith and they're having good faith discussions. And that's cool. When you have a situation like what was happening with that show and with that particular individual, he needed to get put on blast for what he did. We don't need to go into who that was, or if his name is never on air again, that would be too many times. But at the end of the day, like, thank you for that. We do try to keep it professional here. I did have a conversation yesterday on Mark Rogers with Caden, the other guy, and we kept it very profesh and very chill, very zen. Had a nice little debate there, but there we go. So thank you to Courtney.
I was the calm one.
Yeah.
John was the fucking mob boss. I was trying to keep things peaceful.
Yeah, you did. Listen, for the most part, you did. And I do think we heard everybody. We heard him out. Like, he had his time, and that's what we try to do. We try to give everybody their time.
I was like, let's be respectful.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Class of 2014, motherfucker.
Jesus, John. That was a good time.
Good time. I enjoyed it. And the other Courtney, my fiance, really enjoyed it too. She loved that. So always great. Get a little bonus points there. Chris with the 2. Oklahoma is our first road test. I'm more concerned with Nebraska.
So a lot of people, I've talked to a few people who are more concerned with Nebraska than Oklahoma. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't fear Nebraska, bro. I don't think Raiola Rule's got a lot to prove. I mean, I know if Justin Adams watching this, he's like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I just, I don't know. I know it's on the road, and I know, Lincoln, Nebraska is, it's that's a real ass stadium, and there is an energy to it, but I don't know. It just doesn't concern Norman. I feel also just the energy and going into, I just feel like that's going to be the test. And it's not to say like, let's sleep on Nebraska. Like, it's going to be a competitive game, but I think Oklahoma is the one that concerns me more.
Yeah. I just need to see it on the field, because at this point, I know what Oklahoma can do defensively. I think their offense is you can never count out a defense run by Brent Venables ever. So that's, and also with it being at Norman at night, Norman, Oklahoma, with a freshman quarterback and only his second start. The O-line's probably still going to be figuring it out a little bit. That one concerns me more. By the time we get to Nebraska, it's going to be a little bit more game time in there. I also I'm not convinced about Raiola as I'm not either. A Patrick Mahomes-esque quarterback. I think he's got talent, but I think, against a good defense, they crumble. Like, against like an okay defense, they might impose their will. Against this defense that Michigan's going to be fielding this year, I think Raiola is going to be hurting. I think he's going to be running for his life.
Yeah, I mean, like Raiola, and if I pull up his numbers here, like his he was a true freshman, so he deserves that grace. But fuck, bro, he went 13 touchdowns for 11 interceptions. He was not that effective, man. He just, and I know he started the year a little better than later in the year. I will give him this 67% completion. That's really good for a freshman. I'm not sure he's got the supporting cast. Like, And then someone would argue, well, does Michigan? I'm going to tell you this. Michigan's got more talent, I believe, in terms of a running back, offensive line than Nebraska. Wide receiver, we'll see. Michigan's got a lot to prove there. But we'll see, man. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully Bryce has a far more productive year than Dylan Raiola did, though.
Yeah. I want to thank Daniel Kazort, and I believe this might be the first time I've read this name. So if this is your first contribution, thank you so much. And even if it isn't your first contribution, thank you so much. But thank you for the $1.99, Daniel. And I'm assuming you're a Michigan fan, even though there's no text here. Go Blue. So thank you, Daniel. Old Dad 599 with the $1.99. We getting close, my boys. Go Blue. Yeah, we are. 25 days until we face the New Mexico Lobos.
3 weeks and some change, bro. Like it's coming, dude. It's fucking August is gonna go quick. It's gonna go quick because we got NFL preseason, fantasy football drafts. Like I'm actually this Saturday, I'm about to do a big fantasy with some of my boys. We got a big research party going on. But yeah, man. Like I'm ready. It's football season, boys.
Absolutely. And just for the record, we do have our two of our guests are confirmed for the New Mexico preview game. Sean Ryder, who writes at the Albuquerque Journal, is going to be joining us to preview the New Mexico Lobos. And then for Central Michigan, I'm really excited about this one. For Central Michigan week, we have the guy who's the play-by-play broadcaster for Central Michigan University. Adam Jacksa is going to be on our show, previewing the Central Michigan team and what they're all about, and some players to know. So some really cool media guests secured already for the season. And folks, there's a lot more coming. We're cooking. We're cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, and for Oklahoma, I'm going to work to get the Smiths. Smiths have been in demand. I'm going to work to get that. We'll keep you guys updated there. So we'll get them, hopefully.
Thambone 30. Haven't seen you in a second. Great to see you again. I don't know if it's Thambone or T Hambone, one or the other. With the $5, The Fantastic Four was a very good film. Highly recommend. Haven't seen it yet. I did see Superman. I thought that was really good. I saw the new Jurassic Park. I thought that was okay, but Superman was really good, I thought. But I'm a sucker for dogs, and so when they had the dog in the movie, spoiler alert, there's a dog in the movie. But that's in the trailers. Anyway, highly recommend. What 5-star wide receivers are we going after? We need one. I'm assuming you mean 2027 at this point.
Well, none right now, but Dakota Garant 2027 is the one to watch there. None right now. Right now, there is a wide receiver, which I know Kinetic wants to know my opinion on. We'll talk about it. Recruiting update, that's coming. So we'll talk about it. Yeah, there's a wide receiver that Michigan's currently kind of targeting, but not a 5-star.
The charter member of the Connor Stallions espionage team, Keith Rebar, with the $5. I saw you on Mark's show. Good job. You were calm and professional, not Caden. Most bucknuts are nutty. And especially, Keith, that particular bucknut is... There might be a screw loose. There might be a screw loose. But look, we engaged with him on the merits. I thought it was very interesting that Mark Rogers, who does root for Ohio State, was calling him out more than I was. But it was all I wanted to do was say, look, and he's when like just there's nuance to these things. The hammer. We call it a Fisher-Price hammer because we don't think wins are being vacated. We don't think there's going to be a postseason ban. That doesn't mean there's going to be no punishment. And I literally outlined for Caden the punishments that we have said on the show we think are going to happen. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I agree with this. I agree with this." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, you agree with half of it because actually when you take off the fan goggles and you just look rationally, yeah, like some of these things we agree on. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I don't know where the narrative we think there's going to be no punishment or we think Connor Stanley did nothing wrong. That's never been said. Never been said. But it's one of those, it's like telephone, right? You hear one thing, it's a completely different message. I don't know. Is what it is, though. Is what it is.
Yeah, we didn't say Connor Stallions was the savior of Michigan. We never said that. I like the guy.
I like the guy's yourself, passion. John. Speak for yourself. Don't talk about Jesus. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I like the guy's passion, and I like the guy's like how many. I think there are teams that wish they had somebody as passionate as Connor Stallions.
Yeah, bro, dude, could you imagine if Ohio State had Connor Stallions? They'd be sucking his fucking.
Yeah, 100%.
Those lunatics, bro. Like Ohio State really is the craziest fucking fan base I think I've ever encountered. I'm trying to think. Is there another one? Like, is there? Like,
well,
I know.
This next super chat to speak to what you're just saying. The next super chat talks about this. Mark Malinovsky. If I mispronounce that, I'm sorry. $4.99. Buckeye Huddle topic tonight is postseason ban coming.
I believe it.
What a bunch of crybabies and losers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Philadelphia Eagle fans are pretty fucking wild. I just don't know. Ohio State fans are just something.
Yeah.
Oregon fans are kind of crazy too, but we don't really know it yet.
Yeah, we don't.
Apparently Tennessee fans are pretty crazy. SEC talks shit about them all the time, but I don't know, man.
We have nothing to report on with the NCAA because we don't know anything yet. And so we're not going to do a clickbait topic and talk about something that we know nothing about. Buckeye Huddle. The fact is, we don't know anything yet, other than the educated guesses we've put out there. So we're not going to put it as a topic because we're going to have as topics things we've actually have intel on, and like we've heard from multiple people that these things are happening. We haven't heard from anybody yet about.
Speaking of, did you see like a week ago they're like, oh, it's coming this week? Who the fuck was it? Intrinsic or some shit? Somebody was like, oh, it's coming this week. It wasn't
Intrinsic. Yeah,
these fucking. And by the way, again, receipts, boys. I don't know. People stop tagging me. Keep tagging me. I'm trying to bookmark them all. I promise you. I got a folder. Nice collection of nice tweets. Well fun. I promise that. We're going to have a hell of a show. If it goes how we anticipate it's going to go, I promise a very potentially long show. Okay? Like this may be like one of those, like, if anyone remembers the Bryce Underwood commitment or the Ohio State victory, I might be willing to go like all night. It'd just be too much fun to roast these fucking Buckeyes. So We'll see.
Scott says, is there anything on blow up hammers to troll Ohio at games?
Not yet, but we're going to start that movement.
Hey, listen.
I really should just order them. I really should just order mine.
Get Voice of College Football Michigan on there and just.
My gosh. Well, dude.
Hey, merch idea.
Timeout. Dude. Let's talk to Mark. Let's get that going. All right. I got an idea. Let's do that.
Amazing. So yeah, let's keep going on that, and I'm sure we'll ruffle more feathers, just like we did with the Connor Stallions espionage team. Let's just do it. And
dude, the amount of people, it's not a lot. It's a minority that are upset with that is hilarious, dude.
It's funny. Thank you, Moose, for saying welcome to the #1 Michigan Live YouTube channel. That's very nice of you to say. Hit that like button. Moose also reminding everybody that we do have memberships. So Moose is a longtime supporter, moderator. Thank you for posting this. It's almost time for the season. So now is definitely the time to jump on a membership, because we're going to have our next members only stream, which is going to have a lot of good intel in it because we're going to be so close to the season. Definitely get, I resized a few of the emojis so there isn't the white space anymore on some of those. So it's just, they look a little nicer, some of them. So definitely check it out and enjoy the emojis. And even at $2.99, you get the emojis. At $4.99 and up, you get access to our shows. And at $9.99, you can have a say in the shows and actually suggest topics and suggest ideas and all of that stuff. So there is a post on right now for that I just posted a couple of days ago for Connor Stallion's ideas. So if you're a Connor Stallion's member, definitely respond to that so you can put your idea in for the suggestion box. All right. And also, another thing to just remember, we have our sponsorship. So consider becoming a sponsor at sponsorships at vocfb.com. All right, folks. Michigander saying, if we get 42 more likes, John will buy into the Donovan McCulley hype. So there you go. Michigander throwing it out there. 42 more likes, and I'm gonna change. Well, look, I'm not saying I don't buy it. I'm saying I'm trying to be like, okay, let's see it on the field. That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna make John a believer.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good wide receiver. I saw what he did in Indiana. He's a good wide receiver.
Yeah.
I need to see it in this offense.
Yeah, you hate Donovan McCulley. We hear you.
Right. Exactly. You got it.
You hate him.
Speaking of the wide receiver critic, Elisha Bowman, #1 wide receiver critic here at the Voice of College Football Michigan channel. $9.99 super chat. ESPN is overly posting Jeremiah Smith so they can somewhat program our mind so that when the Heisman time comes in, it'll already have the fan vote. Same thing they did with Travis Hunter.
Ooh.
Wow. This is some big brain logic here.
Yeah. We all know it should have been Ashton Genty.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, he propped that team up. They would have been probably 5-7 without him. Like, he propped that team up.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, Jeremiah Smith's special. I mean, I'll say this, though. There really is not. This is a unique year in college football. There's not a lot of, like, the QBs are crazy. There's not, like, these guys. There's not, like.
There's a lot of QB uncertainty, QB battles going on.
It's an interesting year. We'll see. Jeremiah Smith's good, though, once he plays us.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think the only thing that's going to stop him from getting the Heisman is getting shut down by Michigan again, which is pretty likely. Do I think he's going to push off and get a couple of yards? Yeah, he'll push off and get some yards. But yeah, Michigan, I think, is one of the reasons he wasn't higher up last year. Because, I mean, he was good. He was really good last year, but he got completely shut down, almost completely shut down by Michigan. And that prevented him from being higher.
And then to the Travis Hunter is legit. I just thought Ashton Genty deserved it. That's all. Like, I thought, I just thought he was special. Like, and that doesn't mean Travis Hunter's not special. So let me just check myself. They're both fucking good, but I just thought Genty was better. Like, more deserving, I suppose. I see we have some people who disagree with me. That's fine.
Some people saying about the JJ Smith thing. Buckeyes call him JJ Smith. I don't know what the issue is there. Buckeyes call him that. All right, so let's see here. All right, so we are up to date on Super Chat. So why don't we go ahead and hit this next topic? Speaking of Ohio State, Michigan bodies Ohio State with its latest commit, O-lineman Tristan Dare out of Southlake, Texas, has committed. He's an interior O-lineman. He is committed to Michigan. 3-star player, 6'4", 260 pounds, and he chose the Wolverines over Ohio State, Penn State, suck it, Franklin, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Florida, and Washington. So, TJ, you've been studying recruiting a while. What happens when a 3-star player who's 467th in the country is pursued by all of these major schools? Does that tell you something when you're looking at the value of this player versus where his rankings are?
Yeah, and I hit on it in the video. He's undervalued. Like, there is an expectation he's going to rise. He's a sophomore. That film that we watched, because someone in the comments, I can't remember who it was, and it's not a shot. I'm just pointing it out. Oh, he needs to gain weight. He's a sophomore. He's going to gain more weight. But his his agility, his quick feet, his strength, his power, his feel for the game, his stance, his fundamentals, his hand placement. Very freaking good for a sophomore. Like extremely good. There's a reason, and I'm going to stress this. Michigan closed it early. They feel like he is in the mold of Bear McWhirter, who they love, who actually, I just saw this on Twitter, just got placed on the Georgia All-American or All-State team or whatever, preseason All-State team. Only 4 offensive linemen get put on that in the state of Georgia. Anyone knows about Georgia, very fertile state for recruiting. But yeah, I mean, it's listen, they love his game. They love his game. So I'm excited to watch his junior year and see how he plays and how he grows as well. I guarantee that kid is going to really grow into his body. He's like, I believe he's 6'4" already. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good kid, man. I mean, the film's pretty damn, like, again, people, like when you watch the film of, like, we watch these junior films or we watch the seniors, like they're sophomores, like you have got to realize that they're going against varsity kids 2 years older than them. If you remember being a sophomore, like I remember my freshman year of football. I could not believe the fucking size of the seniors, bro. I was like, holy shit. You're like, we would get our ass kicked if we, so imagine being a sophomore going against Texas competition, going against the seniors and the juniors. I thought his film was pretty legit for a sophomore.
Yep, absolutely. And here it is.
And what I love it, and like you'll see him in space. And this is the Chip Lindsey. So like this is like we kind of talked about in the beginning of the show, John. What do we want to do? The running back, the fucking running back screen, right? Well, now when you get this offensive lineman in space, getting to the second level, I mean, that's what he's looking for. If you look at the other edition we had this year, Marky Walbridge in space. You got Tristan Dare. These are offensive linemen. Malachi Lee. These are offensive linemen who can get in space and really cause problems in not only the running game, but the short passing game, the RPO game, all of it. You can see, like, when you hear the intel coming out of camp of what Michigan's trying to do with Chip Lindsey, and then you look at these offensive linemen they're targeting, you can see that vision, man. Look at him in space right now. Yeah. He's already at the 40. I mean, you can see what they're trying to bring into Michigan. They want look at him, second level, man. Like
spread and smash.
I see the vision. I see what they're looking for.
I see the vision. I see the spread and smash, and I see that Moose is correct. I think he could put on a little bit more weight. Absolutely, but remember, it's early. He's a 2027.
Hey, the kid is like what, 16?
Like there's a lot of strength and conditioning.
He'll gain like 30 pounds, like 20 to 30 pounds a year. He'll be fine. And plus, not only that, like when you are committed to Michigan, when you come up to Michigan, Justin Trust hands you a workout plan. Mm-hmm. So like the strength and conditioning staff, they work with the commits, from my understanding.
Yep. Yeah, and my first ever one of my first ever interviews was when I first was doing interviews with Zach Marshall, and he was talking about the with Herb. It was the same thing. Like you get your workout plan, and he's one of 3 coaches you're talking to every single day. Like he is somebody who's on your accountability tree every single day, making sure you stay right. And Tress, apparently he's really kicking it into gear now. Like he was I think everybody was kind of figuring it out last year a little bit, with everybody leaving for the NFL, and they were kind of getting their footing as players, as coaches. Everyone universally was figuring it out early last season, but Justin Tress has been getting rave reviews behind the scenes. He's been getting rave reviews, and there's a lot of progression happening as a result of that. So
yeah,
very exciting stuff. Before we get to the recruiting main segment, we do have a couple more quick super chats here. Elisha's got another one for us. Bro had 3 yards against Texas and 35 yards against UST. I'm assuming like against us. He's not unstoppable. He's not a machine. He's a man. So yeah. So Elisha with the 499 there. Thank you for that. And yeah, he's this is Jeremiah Smith, I believe that Elisha's talking about. And he is a man, but he is. I will say, I'll give him his flowers. He's extremely talented. He's extremely talented.
He's gonna go first overall or some shit in the draft.
Probably first, yeah.
He's special, but it doesn't mean you can't have a bad day. It doesn't mean you can't scheme good. You know, like again, this is Wink runs an NFL. You don't think Wink has seen wide receivers like that's the thing, right? Like, yeah, sure, Tennessee, they don't know how to fucking handle Jeremiah. They don't, you know, like, but Wink Martindale has seen all this. Like, none of these wide receivers, I'll be real, like, he's probably like, all right, he's good, but like, he's not intimidated. Like, Wink Martindale's like, all right, I got another one to deal with, so I'll figure it out, you know? Did the same thing against, Ryan Williams in Alabama.
It's been a minute since I've watched Rocky IV.
Okay.
That was a quote.
Okay.
From so it's been a while since I've watched Rocky IV. I think I might have to take that out for a spin. All right, here we go with Minnesota Dave is here. Minnesota Dave with the $4.99. Do you think it's better to be a redshirt freshman the year under your belt starting this year, or have a true freshman coming in with no experience?
So are you asking from the position of a player or a position of a fan? Because the position of a player, in my opinion, now I know some kids will probably disagree because like they're young and they want to play, but get that year of development, that year of, because this way you don't lose eligibility. You build up your size, you get yourself physically ready. It's only going to help you to the day you get drafted. It will only help you, you know. Now, there are some, you know, they may like, oh, a 4-year or a 5-year guy might hurt your draft stock, I guess. But I mean, now in the age of NIL, there are a lot of players who wait another year just because the NIL money is better than the rookie contracts. But I will say, in my opinion, redshirt freshman, that's the way. But if you're good enough, if you're good enough to be productive, and then there's no reason to wait. I mean, but a lot of these kids, majority of these kids, in my opinion, need a year. The good news is this though. You get to play 4 games and not lose any eligibility.
Yeah. That's huge. I think there's exceptions to every rule. I think Bryce Underwood is an exception to that rule. And even, I mean, look, we had Trevor Lawrence. He didn't play the very first game, but he played pretty quick.
Well, yeah. And the Bryce Underwood, like, the reality is we need him. Yeah. That's the reality. And let's also just be very frank. He's not sitting. Bryce Underwood's playing as that's a different animal. Like, 1, we have a need. 2, no matter where he went, he wasn't sitting. So he was playing.
Yeah. And we just talked about Jeremiah Smith. He's another one. Right? Like when someone is very special, you got to play him. Right? Bryce Underwood, Jeremiah Smith. I think those are some great examples of who you play. Nick, John, how many subscribers before you full time? What is that? Or like, how many subscribers before I do the channel full time?
Shit.
Yeah, a lot. It would, we're like a mil. I mean,
we would need more than subscribers. It comes down to ad revenue and sponsors. Really, hey, we get them sponsors up.
Listen, I have a pretty sweet gang. Okay, I'm just like, I don't know. Whoever follows me on X knows this. Like, I have a pretty sweet gig. But I love doing this too. And it's really cool that I get to do both. It's really cool.
$150,000. I'd do this full time.
Yeah, that's about what it would take. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Elisha with the $9.99. Jeremiah Smith. Again, Elisha's our resident wide receiver expert. Jeremiah Smith is one of the best wide receiver talents. My frustration isn't with him. It's more of this media publishing, ESPN and Fox analysts have a must-have bias towards OSU. OSU is great, but man, this media is crazy.
Well, I think the truth is, though, I mean,
they won the title.
Well, they won the title, and like there's really not a lot of like big names. Like Jeremiah Smith's one of the names in college
Yeah.
football, you know.
Yeah.
He's gonna get hype. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess Elijah, who do you think is more deserving?
Yeah.
That's
Like
my question.
who else? It's like Arch Manning is another one that comes to mind. He's
But he's not
barely
proven,
played.
but less proven,
He's
right?
barely played. Yeah.
You know, you got Ryan Williams in Alabama, you know, and you know, this is just a funny year for college football. Actually, there's just not a lot of like big time, big name players.
Yeah. It's true. It's a very interesting year. And it means that the games on the field are going to be even sweeter because you don't know who's going to break out. Aside from Jeremiah Smith, and I think it's a pretty safe assumption that Michigan's defense as a whole is going to ball out. That Bryce Underwood's going to have some decent showings at times. But there's a lot of question marks right now, and I think it's kind of exciting. I think it's going to make the season even more interesting. Another one from Elisha. If anything, Marvin Harrison Jr. was statistically more of a problem for us. In the 2 games against us, he had 100 plus yards and some touchdowns. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. was a problem for us. And kudos to Will Johnson for being able to at least hang and even pick him off.
And speaking of Will Johnson, anyone seen any highlights of him in camp?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, dude, I'm gonna be real. I wish the Lions grabbed him. Anyways, move on. That's bad.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I know the knee thing, but we'll see. I don't know.
So on a bit of a sad note, Blue Wolverine, keep Doreen's family in your thoughts. They had to let a fur baby go. Losing a pet is tough. Shit, both of us know that. Okay, we both had that happen in the last like year and a half. So yes, completely understand that. Thoughts and prayers with Doreen, her husband, and their family. Yeah, it's always tough. So I did see Doreen in chat, I think earlier today. So she's around. She's still hanging. She was in Menace earlier. Minnesota Dave. I'm just being that nice Gopher fan and not that mean Buckeye fan. John knows what I'm talking about. Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, listen, Minnesota Dave is a long-time viewer and caller. So Minnesota Dave he hung out with us when I was doing the show on Voice of College Football, the Ocho, which is like the Big Ten Live Part 2. And Minnesota Dave hung out with us. So very cool there.
Hey, at least we got Minnesota fans. Where are those Spartans at?
Yeah, literally nobody. We don't have one MSU fan.
Dude, the day a Spartan, I'll tell you this right now. The day a Spartan crawls from under a rock onto this show, they probably are winning, because if they're not winning, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, Spyro is the only one I've heard anything from because of.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I've actually had some interactions with some Spartans lately.
Oh yeah, okay.
Brody, and then MSU propaganda. Like, I've had some interactions with them. They've been on my shit, but they don't come on the show. They're not in the chat, you know.
Nick is back. This year, when we beat Ohio in the playoffs, will y'all open the show Smoking Blunts Live? U of M beats Ohio 37-13 in the Rose Bowl. Ryan Day gets ragdolled. Ooh. Wow. Good question.
I don't smoke in the house. But
yeah, that's the thing. We don't want to set off any fire alarms.
No, you wouldn't. But
I mostly have given up the smoking part.
Not me.
But hey, maybe an edible.
See, Nick, you should have came to the spring game, because at our Airbnb, I was the only one getting down, bro.
Hey!
And Johnny Olden. Oh, I think you did.
I did. I had my.
I was solo, bro.
No. I had my vape pen going.
Yeah, the vape pen.
I had that had the good stuff in it, and think I took an edible that night too. So absolutely enjoyed looking at the big house and
dude,
just taking it in.
Watching the cops and the canines, bro.
I was like, oh, yeah, literally right next to the police and the canines. Yes.
I was like, shit, this might not be a good idea.
Oh, let's hide everything.
It worked out, though.
It was a great time, dude. I love that. Michigan never got this hype in 2023 like OSU gets hype every year. OSU could be 0-12 and bring nobody back the next year and still get hype.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Like OSU seems to get the benefit of the doubt every year. But I mean, and then I know Garrison's probably watching or someone. Well, we always win. And you guys are consistently good. That's why they get that. Michigan does get, especially those 3 years we won the Big Ten title, not the respect you would expect. Now I can understand. I can understand why there's some, but I'll say this: I think Michigan's getting. We're gonna talk about. I think Michigan is getting respect coming into this year. We're ranked, boys. We're ranked, and some people have us ranked higher than the AP. So we'll talk about that too later.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you're right, Michigander. But I do think the hype is somewhat understandable this year. At the very least, they're coming off a title. They had a pretty impressive playoff run. They lost to Michigan, yay. But guess what? That also makes Michigan's win the best win in the country because Michigan beat the national champions. Michigan was 6-5 on the road with a walk-on quarterback, no Will Johnson, no Colston Loveland. That was the best win in the country during the regular season.
Coaches poll, my bad. Not AP, coaches poll.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Elisha, there's a YouTube video of the spring game of Bryce's passing plays only. And if you look at the right tackle, you'll see Link actually doing great against TJ Guy. Link actually, and we've said that, by the way, that Link looked pretty decent in the spring game.
Not me. Juju did, though. Juju, after he's watched like 35 times. I'm a non-believer in that right now. I don't have faith. I don't have faith.
Yeah.
But hey, prove me wrong, please. I want a hard L on the Evan Link hate.
There's another snippet of camp of a O-line drill, and it's Sprague, Afobe, Crippen, El Hadi, Link, all at the same time. I think it's revenge tour for Link.
That's the starting five. We'll see if Link can hold on throughout fall camp. There's obviously a little buzz with Babaloa. We'll see there. But yeah, Sprague, Afobe, Crippen, El Hadi, that's your for sure four.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see about Link. I'm excited. I'll tell you, I'm real excited about Afobe because if Afobe can be what I think he can next to Sprague and Crippen, that's a very strong right side of that line. El Hadi. So the news, actually, I don't know why we didn't talk about this. El Hadi gained like 25 pounds. He's playing at 305 last season. I think he's at like 325, 330 this year.
He's looking like a big fella.
Yeah, bro. And for those who don't remember, he came in the year that JJ McCarthy did. He was a top 100 recruit, big time recruit. Yeah, I'm hoping for a big year for El Hadi.
Same here. All right, so we are caught up to date. So let's move on now to recruiting updates. So we do have a few recruiting updates here. Including a new name, I believe, Malachi Zeigler, quarterback out of Benton High School, right? Benton, Louisiana.
Yep, Louisiana. Let's pull up his huddle tape, John. The people, This is a quarterback we need to know about. This is a 2027. It does appear that Michigan is in, their talks are progressing here. So essentially we have is a 2027 four-star quarterback. Michigan wants to get him for a visit this fall during a game, but it does appear, are we having issues pulling the video up, John?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
For whatever reason, it's a little bit delayed, but there you go.
Yeah, it's fine. So you'll see with the thing about Malachi Zeigler, right, is he has dual threat capabilities. Here's your RPO type quarterback, Chip. I know it's tough because we haven't seen Chip Lindsey's offense in action, but when you see Chip Lindsey's offense in action, you'll understand the vision here. So what they're trying to do is get a quarterback who can move the pocket, throw on the run, RPO game. Give the defense a lot to think about, right? Kid has an arm. Good. He is, I know there are some people critical of him. They don't think his tape's as polished as some of the other quarterbacks. He is ranked right now 95 in the nation by we'll go with the composite. It's 158, 12th quarterback in the nation. He's 6'2", 209 pounds. It does appear that Michigan, that would have been picked off any other time, but it does appear that Michigan is very high on him. They watched him throw. They watched him in live settings, and Chip Lindsey is a big fan of his game. So now I want to stress here, remember this, 28 is Donald Tabron, right? That's the next one coming out of the state of Michigan, possibly a 5-star, very high 4-star type kid. This is going to be the gap between Brady Smeagol and Donald Tabron, who again is being mentored by Bryce Underwood. But I want to bring this kid to your attention because it's right now, as things stand, a Michigan SMU battle. Theo will have the upper hand there, right?
Yeah. SM who?
Yeah. I thought they died.
Yeah.
Guess not. Anyways, yeah, so we'll see where it goes. I know there are some quarterbacks other people are high on. I know Moose just kind of hit on one with Bork, but it appears the Malachi Zeigler smoke is the hottest right now. So we'll see. Now, I don't think there's going to be a commitment this month. I think it'll be in the fall, potentially, if there is one. But be on the lookout for that. It is a name we need to be aware of. Next player we're going to talk about, John, Xavier Hyder, because we are 14 days away from a commitment. Now, we don't know the time yet on this. It's going to be, from my understanding, it's going to be on ESPN. We are going to do a live show, but we obviously can't share the ESPN stream. So be on the lookout for that. We will do a live commitment video as long as, I mean, as it stands, tentatively committing to that, as long as I don't have anything crazy pop up that day with work. But we'll do it. And all indications, boys, Michigan's looking good. We're in a good spot. We still have the lead. It's where we want it. Xavier Hyder is obviously the number one running back in the nation. Think about this. Number one running back in the nation for 2026. Number one quarterback in the nation 2025. Number two left tackle in the nation, or number two overall overall tackle in the nation, Andrew Babaloa. Another borderline 5-star in Ty Haywood, right? And then when you look at the wide receivers who we've added, Jamar Browder, Andrew Marsh, right? Yeah, you see the vision. You see this youth movement. You look at this defensive line class for 2026. You look at the defensive back class for 2025. You are seeing a very promising team come together. Linebacker, a little to be desired, but we're going to talk about that. But at the end of the day, yeah, you can see the blueprint here. You can see the blueprint on what Michigan's building in terms of the youth, in terms of the talent at all these different positions. I am feeling very optimistic. I think if Michigan lands Xavier Hyder, which again, all indications, and there is some word, who was it? Was it Shamar Earls? Shit, who was it? Was it Shamar Earls? One of the players, I think it was Shamar Earls. Hold on, let me just double check very, very quick because I don't want to. Shamar Earls is out of Virginia, right? Yeah, he is. Okay, what's Shamar Earls? Shamar Earls essentially said, it's happening. It's happening. So, because Shamar Earls was talking about the kids from Virginia. He's from Virginia. He goes, we're about to add a fifth one. And Sam Webb kind of confirmed, he did a double take on it. And it does appear that there is a feel that it's happening. So, now also beyond the Shamar Earls, I guess, nugget, on my end, I've also heard we're in a good position. Things are going well. So, let's be on the lookout for August 19th. Could be a great day for us. So we will stay tuned for that. We will do again a commitment video. Plus, we'll have another update. Let's say the 5th. Shit. We got one more show before the 19th. So we'll have another update, I'm sure. Next player we're going to talk about, and this is the one I've seen a lot of people talk about in the chat. Jabari Brady, wide receiver who is currently committed to Missouri, out of Pompeo Beach, Florida, 6'1.5", 205 pounds. This is an interesting situation, and it's interesting for me because I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I don't love his film. In my opinion, Michigan should be attacking Samson Gash. when I look, this is me now. Now listen, it don't mean, listen, my opinion here, whatever. But like, I'm just saying, when I look at this, I in this class have right now, I have Zion Robinson. I have Travis Johnson. I have my Z. I have my Y. This is not like, do I think the kid has talent? Yes. But to me, I already have this type of receiver in the class. Like Samson Gash to me would make sense because Samson Gash runs a 10.4 400 meter, or going to get a big body, not Calvin Russell, but a Calvin Russell archetype, a true X. Yeah, I mean, do I see the appeal that Michigan has with the film here? Yeah, you got a receiver who can go up and get it, strong hands, possession receiver, has good cuts. You can see that in the film. You can. But what I'm asking myself when I watch this, a 6'1", 6'1.5" wide receiver. I got Jalen Pyle who's 6'1". I got Zion Robinson who's 6'3". I got Travis Johnson who's 6'3". There's only so many kids on the field, man. So like I'm wondering what Michigan's doing here. Are they doubling down? Like, there's nothing wrong. Like if Jabari Brady was in this class and we didn't have some of the other kids, I fully understand. I'm not saying this kid isn't talented. I don't understand the fit. I just don't understand the fit.
Maybe they like him for special teams. Maybe they like him for depth. We're speculating here, but
like, I guess in theory, let's just play this out. You put Travis Johnson at the X, you put Zion Robinson at the Y,
sure.
And you put this kid at the Z, maybe. Or could he play Y? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's where I'm at with it. So, I mean, I guess I misspoke when I said I don't like the film. His film's good. It's just I don't understand the fit.
Yeah.
Because now we're gonna have 4 wide receivers in the class, which nothing wrong with that. That's fine. We need wide receivers, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess maybe my issue is I want them to go after Samson Gash, the kid from Michigan who runs 10.44. Let's see. What is Samson Gash's size? Am I crazy? Let me look this up. Samson Gash, he's 6 foot. Okay, so it's essentially the same size. It's just the 10.44 speed's appealing. Nobody on the team's that fast. But it's interesting to me. It's just when I look at our receiving room, this kid, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I feel like we got
Jalen Pyle. You can't forget about him.
Zion Robinson, Travis Johnson. Exactly. Yeah. I have these receivers. I have my Ys and my Zs.
Yeah. Is there any?
He plays hard. Like I see the appeal. I mean, the kid's got, I don't know. To me, and maybe I'm wrong, and I don't know what the chat's saying, but I don't think Micah runs a 10.4 400 meter, brother. Kinetic. But I just feel like this is like a transfer. Not saying it's him, but I'm saying you add these similar wide receivers, like they're not all staying. But maybe Michigan's like, you know what?
Maybe they're worried about a decommit.
But maybe Michigan's like, you know what? Cream is going to rise to the top, and that's what we're going after. Maybe they are, and I guess that makes sense too. Maybe they're I don't know. I'm just it's just such a curious. It's curious,
Yeah. I agree. I think I think from all I saw, I thought they seemed like they were happy with what they had, and so this news kind of surprises me a bit.
Yeah, there was some word that Michigan only wanted 3 wide receivers in the class unless they can get like a Calvin Russell type, which this is not that. But I mean, Look, listen, this kid does play with fucking physicality. This kid has good cuts. This kid seems to have very strong hands, goes up and gets the ball. Like, he's good. He's got ability. He's got skill, but like the fit is just so funny to me. I don't know. That's me though. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, when I heard the news, I was like, this is interesting, 6'1.5", similar receiver to some of the other receivers we have. This isn't bad though. Like, we add him, our room's still upgraded over what we have had. When you look at last year's class, this year's class, I guess maybe Michigan's just like, maybe Michigan's like, look, I just want an influx of talent. I want an influx of talent, and may the best kids get on the field. they want competition at that. You know what I mean? If you can't get Calvin Russell, like if you can't get a player of like right now, this cycle, next cycle, they're going to swing for the fences. Obviously, Dakota Grant and co. But like, I guess that's Michigan's. Maybe they're just like, you know what? Let's take a batch of talented kids, and the best kids will stick. And I guess I can understand that if that's the argument, if that's the the premise. But it's interesting to me. I don't know. We'll find out, man. I mean, I don't know. I just find the fit interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think could there be concerns of a decommit, or is it a depth piece?
Not that I know of. Let's put that. Not that I know of. Now, if there is, then that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. If there is, I don't know of one though. Because like, for example, there was a podcast, I'm not going to name it, that was like, oh, well, Michigan's going to have trouble hanging on to their commits. I know of like 2 or 3. And then I've had people DM me, and like, I'm just going to tell you right now, I've heard nothing regarding that. I've heard nothing regarding any kids looking to decommit right now. I've heard nothing. And I've also not read anything elsewhere. So I don't know.
Well, I guess watch this space and see what happens there. But I am very interested in DQ Forkpa, because obviously the linebacker recruiting has been pretty rough, with essentially one player. And so, there's a serious need for linebackers here. DQ Forkpa, how are things going over on that front?
Yeah, so I mean, we just missed out on another linebacker last week, August 2nd, committed elsewhere. I believe went to Ole Miss, or I don't remember where he went. I don't even care. But like, boys, Michigan has like DK Forkpa more, like that's the one that they appear to be narrowing on and targeting. Same agent as Nathan Wasu Boateng, who we got last year towards the end of the cycle. I see it, and I told you guys this like a few weeks ago. I see a similar story here. I think Sean McGee has a good relationship with his agent. I think they understand the situation. And remember, DK Forkpa was going to commit, and then he postponed his commitment because he wants to visit. That's a DK.
Yeah.
Dude, Donkey Kong, bro. It's in my mind. Okay. I grew up in that shit. The game was amazing in 64. Anyways, DQ Forkpa. He's the one Michigan's has their eyes on. That's the one. So let's see. He's also just like Malachi Zeigler, just like Jabari Brady. I should have mentioned this with Jabari Brady. They're looking to get them to visit in the fall. So once they visit in the fall, they get their schedule. That's when you should see some movement with both Malachi Zeigler, Jabari Brady, and DQ Forkpa. So let's be on the lookout for that, man. I mean, it's an interesting situation. I'd be happy with DK Forkpa. DQ Forkpa. DQ. I'm gonna fucking write it down like 100 times. DQ. If he commits, I have to. If he commits elsewhere, I don't gotta worry about it. But if he commits, I gotta figure it out. But we'll get there.
If the Forkpas are watching, I think we have Metcalf on the brain maybe, but it's DQ.
Yeah, I gotta think Dairy Queen, not Donkey
Dairy
Kong.
Queen. There you go.
Figure it out.
Love it. Well, yeah, it does seem good, and it's sorely needed, right? Sorely needed in that position. So folks, just a quick reminder that at an Amazon near you, Disputed National Champions, authored by the owner, founder of our network, Mark Rogers, learn about the 1990s and the national championships within as they built towards the BCS era. Disputed National Champions. We do have 2 more super chats here. So let's go to, Elisha. Can I just say, Elisha, thank you for...
Yeah, thank you, Elijah.
You have been killing it with super chats, and we appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Surprised about Dom Nichols not being there yet, but Cam Brandt being called a starter just shows how he separated. Brandt looked good great against OSU.
I mean, Nichols has Derek Moore in front of him. Okay, so that's really the big thing there. We'll see, and it's early. It's the very first camp update, at least from us. Camp's only been a week. There very well could be Dominic Nichols updates next week. I don't know. But I think. I think, I don't think that's a red flag or anything. I don't think we're in a position where, so we'll see where it goes. But I mean, it's great to hear about Cam Brandt. I mean, like we know Derek Moore and TJ Guy and Rayshon Benny, Damon Payne, Trey Pierce, Trey Williams. We know they're going to be names. What's Enow Ida going to do? Dominic Nichols, can he make noise? Yeah, it's interesting. It's something we'll monitor for sure.
Yeah. Cam Brandt, clearly looks like he's separating. And yeah, looked great against OSU. So let's see what happens there. Minnesota Dave is back with another super chat. If you're ever in Minnesota, and I have been a couple of times,
I've never been to Minnesota.
It's I want to go. It's a good time.
Oh yeah.
Just maybe avoid it in like February.
I'd like to go to Minnesota to go to a college hockey game. Like if Michigan played Minnesota, that'd be fire, bro.
Yeah,
I'd love to go to a road game, Michigan versus Minnesota, but I've never been. I've also never had a THC drink. I've never even gone down that road.
Yeah, haven't tried.
I'm down.
Tried.
Actually,
I did get some grape and it is kind of like Kool-Aid, but with THC. So it was like you get a little packet. You got your grape drink or your orange drink or whatever. You put it in water, and so yeah, those do exist a lot of places, but not an old. I haven't had an old fashioned. So Minnesota Dave, appreciate you. Scott Doherty with the 2. If Michigan misses on DQ, who is next up? I mean, it would be a flip, right?
I would think they'd go. I would think they would try and flip a kid. They would have to. I think.
Or the portal.
Well, yeah, and there's always the portal, and we got our starting linebackers both came from the portal this year, right? Or not this year, but they've come from the portal the previous 2 years,
right? Nebraska and Maryland, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they don't though, because I like Forkpa.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's I think Forkpa is the answer.
Yeah, I think he's kind of a fucking missile, bro. I think he's like a stocky ass. By the way, what was I watching? Oh, never mind. I know, bro. I gotta figure out my memory. There'll be some videos coming on the Michigan Voice of College. I know where I'm about to share where I saw these. So we've had a former NFL player join the network, and he's gonna be dropping some videos. He was also a former NFL scout. For I believe I want to say the Green Bay Packers. I know he played for the Green Bay Packers, but regardless, he did a video on Tariq Boney. Bro, I didn't do a player analysis on his because I was busy. I didn't do the video. Bro, fuck, his film is so good. I'm so mad I didn't do a player now. And I don't want to do one now because there's one coming that'll be on the channel. You guys will check it out. But damn, man, that kid, I'm telling you, that kid is slept on. I watched the video. I watched the player now. I watched the scouting thing he did on it. It was pretty good. So be on the lookout for that. I was like, where did I see that? And I was like, oh, I remember.
All right. So that's it. That we're up to date on super chats. The chat is being a bit spicy. I'm just gonna ask everybody to be cool to each other. And that means everybody. I'm not gonna call anybody out in particular, but Moose Garrison, be cool.
Be nice.
Be cool. Because
you're both our friends.
Look, just be good to each other. We're all football fans at the end of the day, and life moves on. Michigander here, one of our newest mods, and thank you so much for stepping up and taking on that role. I think missing on another linebacker says more about BJM. Yeah, I mean, I think
I'll say this.
a lot. His lack of linebacker recruitment says a lot already about what he's doing.
So I've been big on the whole patience, like but I'll say this. After Calvin Russell, there's obviously some resources allocated to linebacker recruiting because the noise picked up with Nick Abrams and DQ Forkpa and the other guy who just committed August 2nd. Can't remember his name right now, but bro, you cannot miss on all three of them. Now the kid that August 2nd again at Forkpa, so it's really Nick Abrams. Although, bro, if they pull Nick Abrams, which they're still in contact with, if they pull fucking Nick Abrams back, because that's really the one they want. That's I shouldn't even have said. I feel bad saying that, but Abrams is the one who was higher on the board. If they can get Forkpa, like if they don't get Forkpa, they could still pull Nick Abrams, who I love. I'm fans of both Forkpa and Abrams, but if that's so I guess let's just see. But I mean, you're on kind of the right path, Michigander. I mean, there's some, I think, and I know there's a contingent of Michigan fans who say, oh, like the reality, the results speak for themselves. Like there is definitely it's not right. There's something off here. Okay. And it's not simply because Michigan isn't giving him resources. We know he's got some resources. We know they pulled Nathan Wasu. Like, I don't know. I am, but I will say though, see, now I'm arguing with myself. The linebacker sure did play a lot better as the season went on, man. Like as a coach, he did a good job as a coach. And I know recruiting is the other part of the job and it matters. So I don't know. I agree with you. If we miss on Forkpa, but all right, let me ask you, let me throw the question back at you, Michigander. He misses on Forkpa, but he lands Nick Abrams in November. Are we upset? No, we're fucking happy. Anthony Davis, that's who it was. Yeah, Anthony Davis. So Anthony Davis, we missed on August 2nd, but it was Forkpa. Forkpa was always higher on the pecking order. So yeah, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
We've got Bob Alexander. Great show, guys. As always, this Brady kid seems to have tude. Like Michigan is bothering me. Thoughts? Go blue. This Brady kid.
He's not talking about he's not talking about Jabari Brady, is he? I don't know. Let us know in the chat, bro. You don't have to super chat us, just let us know.
Like Jabari. I'm assuming it's Jabari Brady because that's who we were talking about. Interesting.
I'm unaware of any like social media posts or anything that I'm unaware of. It does appear that it's mutual. It does appear that Jabari Brady and Michigan are mutually interested in one another. I don't know. Oh, Brady Smeagol? No, I don't know. There's so many Bradys. Shout out to Tom Brady.
Yeah, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Shout out to Tom Brady.
7 Super Bowls. Let's go.
Remember, what was the kid before Brady Smeagol?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Brady something. Brady Hart.
Tom Brady, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Scott says BJM should be on the hot seat. Yeah, I think if he whiffs on DQ,
well, I'll say this. One of the biggest
or Abrams.
One of the biggest things that has impressed me with Sharon Moore is his ability to make changes. Like he brought in Soup Campbell, he brought in Castillo. He saw that, okay, I need to help out Newsome and Ron Bellamy. Now I'm not saying that means bring in a guy to help out Brian John Marie, but I do think if the recruiting does not improve, I think Sharon Moore would make the necessary changes. He appears to be aware of the program's weaknesses. That is something I feel he's very tapped in. He's very aware. I feel like he's very conscious of the program's weaknesses, which is why I am very optimistic about his second year progression as a coach. But we got to see that, right? Like in-game coaching, timeout management, player rotation. Those are big things we're going to see this year. Brady Marchese. I don't know. That's another Brady.
Oh, yeah. Wow, there are a lot.
Yeah, Tom Brady, bro. Legend.
Absolutely.
Like, you're a legend when people name their kids after you. Shout out to Jalen Rose.
Blue Wolverine with the 99-cent super sticker. Thank you so much, Blue Wolverine, as always, for that. Garrison also thinks Barry Sanders sucks.
Don't get me going.
Oh,
dude,
man.
I'll just say it here. I said it on social media. If you think Barry Sanders is not the greatest running back of all time, get some help.
Oh, Garrison
Barry
disputes
Sanders,
that.
Barry Sanders, if he did not retire, and I know Garrison kind of holds the early retirement against him. I know he does, and that's not my argument. But if Barry Sanders does not retire, he absolutely smokes that rushing record, and it's never touchable. It will never be. It wouldn't even be. Emmitt Smith would look like nothing. Like he would have. He only played 10 years, and was one season away from owning it. Insane. The vision, the elusiveness, the agility, the balance. No one's been as good as Brady or Barry. How do I say Brady? Fuck me, bro. Barry Sanders, bro. Shout out to Barry.
You've got Brady on your mind now.
I know.
That's
Barry.
it.
It's late.
It's
10 o'clock. I've been working all day. But yeah, Barry Sanders is the GOAT, dude. He's the fucking GOAT for running backs. In all respects to sweetness and fucking Jim Brown and all that, but Jim Brown played in a different era. Barry would thrive in this era. He would thrive. Emmitt's good. I respect Emmitt, but he's not Barry Sanders, bro. And I know I'm a Lions fan. Listen, I get that, but I do look at it unbiased. Dude, you just the film and what Barry did. Who had the better offensive line? I know Barry had some Pro Bowlers, like Lomas Brown and all them, but Cowboys offensive line was fucking elite, and had way more better supporting staff. Let's just be honest. And Garrison thinks Peyton and Adrian Peterson are better than Barry Sanders. Adrian Peterson, I fucking love. That's a legend too. Also a Lion at one time. But Barry Sanders, bro, you're out your mind.
All right. Since we are getting close to the 2-hour mark here, let's wrap up with this topic. Michigan has been ranked number 14 in the coaches poll. So the question is that too high? Is that too low? Or is that just right? 14, and just for context, you can see every single one of the 25 right here. So we got all 25 right here. Texas number 1, which, look, I have Texas as the national champion. That's my prediction right now. And they're number 1. Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Notre Dame, and Clemson in the top 6. I actually think Clemson's a little under, given what they're returning. But 14 for Michigan. I don't hate it. What do you think, TJ?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair because Michigan's got to prove itself. There's nothing wrong with 14. 14's a great position. Do your job. You're still in the playoffs, obviously. It's fair. And actually, to be honest with you, I think as Michigan fans, we should be appreciative that we're getting appreciation. Like Joe Klatt has us 10th. Brett McMurphy has us 11th. I think 10. I think 10's like as a Michigan fan, I'm like, well, we got to prove it. I think 14's good. I think we're in the right spot here. Do I think we could beat Illinois? I do. I think
the quarterback play, the OC is I mean, the upgrade from last year is quite a bit for us.
Illinois is going to be a good team. I'm not discounting that they're going to be a good team in the Big Ten this year, but I do think that we're in the right spot because it gives the boys a chip. They got to prove themselves. They got to show up. I do find it interesting. Someone mentioned it earlier in the comments. Oklahoma is not in the top 25. Very interesting. But we're in the right spot. It's enough to it's enough to be respectable, but it's also enough to have a chip on your shoulder because you still got to prove it. And I think we're where we should be right now. I'm interested to see where the AP poll puts us. That'll be interesting. But I mean, I find it very interesting. If anyone has not seen it, and I would play it, but I don't know if we'd get copyright or not. Joel Klatt's analysis of why he has Michigan 10th, which I guess I'll just share. I kind of talked about
We
it
would
earlier.
absolutely get copyrighted.
Yeah.
Absolutely we would. But definitely check it out.
Yeah. Well, he says in short, the defense should carry, even though they lost some guys, but we saw the depth in the rotation at the end of the year with the young guys. And this offense will be better than last year. So he feels Michigan is still a very good team that should be considered elite. I am of the opinion that we should be a good team, but we got to prove that we're elite. And we got to, you know, it's just what it comes down to, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't put us 10th.
Maybe this is controversial. As long as we're here in the 25, I'm okay with any place. The only way I would take offense is if Michigan was unranked.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That'd be too low. I agree with that.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, like yes, Michigan had its two best games at the end, Ohio State and Alabama, two of the best wins in the country. But at the end of the day, like, we have to remember that Bryce Underwood hasn't played a snap of college football.
Right.
We don't know what it's going to look like with Chip Lindsey. There are still unknowns on the offensive side of the ball. Defense is pretty obviously going to be incredible, at least great, if not incredible. And the offense, we don't know. Do we think it's going to be better than last year? I think it's hard to be worse than last year, but I'd be okay with any spot in the 25, because you got to prove it. And I'd be fine with 25th. I'd be fine with 14th. I'd be fine with higher. I respect Joel Klatt, but at the end of the day, this is a guessing game. Right now, like, these coaches are guessing. Everybody's guessing. Nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows. Some of these people in the top 10 might wind up being 50th, because nobody know. Like LSU, I could see being 5-17 potentially. I mean, I could see LSU being terrible potentially. I could see them being great too. Like, we don't know. So as you mentioned earlier in the show, TJ, the unknowns with the lack of star players, aside from like Jeremiah Smith and a few others, it's very valid. Like, we don't have a lot of obvious stars. Like, Drew Aller isn't that great of a quarterback. I'm sorry, Pete. I know he's been the media darling.
Crumbled in the playoffs.
He crumbles against a decent defense. Like, he can't hit the broad side of the barn.
He is what his coach is, bro. Like, I mean, they got to prove themselves when the games are pressure and the lights are on. They got to, and I know fucking Garrison doesn't buy that. I mean, he might be laughing at the Jim Brown argument, but like, I don't know. I got to see it with Penn State.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia's in there because Kirby Smart is notoriously a very good coach.
And they reload like Ohio State does, you know, and Texas is obviously loaded. Notre Dame should be good. Oregon should be good.
Yeah.
Alabama, I find questionable. What do you mean? What have they proven? Kalen DeBoer had a very poor first year, and they've lost some talent. Miami's interesting. They always choke that fucking high ranking.
Yeah, they're always in the top 10, and then they become like a 7-5, 6-6 team.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I like where we are. I mean, I'm very interested where AP poll puts us. I mean, I'm ready though, man. Like, it is here, bro.
Let's go. Let's play some games.
Yeah.
I'm so ready for that. We got a couple of super chats to wrap up here. Michigander is back. Thoughts on Michigan hosting McNeese State? I'm assuming this is for basketball. So I'll let TJ, the basketball guy, take that one.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that it just got announced today. I mean, my thoughts are, I mean, I know we lost when we fucking lost to them last time we played. Let's see. I think that's what happened. I think we lost to them last time we played. Yeah, we did. 87 to 76 in 2023. I mean, yeah, why not? Let's fucking let's play again, and you know, I'm all for it. I'll say this, man. the hype is real on the basketball team. We're gonna be a Final Four contender, national championship contender, Big Ten championship contender. Dusty, like the hype's real, man. I don't know. I don't even know how to, like, if people are not paying attention to what's going on in Michigan basketball, or you're not the biggest Michigan basketball fan, this season is going to be a good one to get into it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I am. I'll tell you, like we were talking earlier about like buying the hype or being cautious. I am all in on the hype. I think this team is going to be fucking good.
Yeah, I think they've shown enough now, and the body of work of Coach Dusty May. I mean, getting FAU to the Final Four, and then obviously what happened last year, turning around Michigan after an 8-win season the year before. That's impressive for a 2-year stretch. So I think the evidence shows, just on his coaching record the last few years, that they're positioned for a really good year. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to be watching some games. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, like with Morez Johnson, who, if anyone paid attention to that, what he did for Team USA, he was already one of the up and coming Big Ten centers in the freaking conference. I mean, he looks, I don't want to say special, but like he looks fucking really good. And then Yaxel Lindenberg, number 1 portal transfer. Namari Burnett, who we had on the channel, looks to take another big year. He had a good year shooting. Elliot Cadeau is going to be the field, like the team, just in the depth. A day Mara, and then these like we have fucking 2 giant 7-footers on our bench. Okay, Will Cheddar, Winters Grady, Trey McKinney, the 5-star out of the state of Michigan, LJ Kason, who had. I'm telling you, team is going to be good. I'm excited.
Very cool. One more here from Michigander. Notice how there is no Oklahoma. What does that say about what coaches think about John Mateer and his 56% completion percentage against Power 4 schools? I'm gonna take your word for it on that. I don't have the stats in front of me there, Michigander.
Right.
Is it
Matt Miller brought it up to us because he hates Oklahoma. But
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you this. I think they should be in the top 25. The defense is going to be a top 20 defense. Offense should be improved. It's coming from a pretty good offense. Yes, there is the question marks with the Power 4 defenses. Whatever though. I mean, whatever. Hopefully, I'll be real with you. Do I want a good game? Yes, but I want the fucking victory. I don't care. I don't care if they're a top 25 team or not. To be quite frank, as bad as this may sound, if they're bad, I don't care. I'll take the victory. Like, I don't think they'll be bad though. It'll be a good game, be a good test. And we'll see, man. We'll see what the AP poll has though. That's what's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. All right, folks, a couple of pieces of news to share. So we do have the lineup for the college football show this season. Whenever Mark Rogers needs a day off, guess who's going to be the official guest hosts of the college football show? Myself, as well as I like to call him the great Corey Bratta, who hosts our Iowa Hawkeyes live show and Hawkeye of the Storm. We will be the guest hosts, and we'll be hosting on the main channel where we can, and when Mark has to go do things or go report or whatever the case may be, we'll be there. So definitely join us and follow my X account for when I'm about to broadcast, and come on over and say hi, call in. It'll be a great time. It's a call-in show, so can't wait to do that. And then of course, coming up, I believe we're back to Thursday this week, TJ, for the call-in show.
Yes, this week, Thursday, 8 p.m., me and Johnny Olden call-in show. A few days closer to the regular season. Looking forward to that. And Lions play Friday, so we're good to go. Although last week was a shit show.
Yeah, we're into officially like it's not just one game anymore. We're about to have real preseason now, right? We got preseason week 1 coming up, starting Thursday night.
There is football every single week until February.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
And if we want to see JJ Goat Carthy,
bro, I'm so interested to watch. I am, because there's like mixed reviews, right? There's some people who say he looks good. Some people are like, they're saying, oh, he looks not ready. Like, I am so, I'm a Lions fan, like I am. And don't get me wrong, when we played Minnesota, sorry, JJ, I hope we beat you, but I'm still interested in watching his development. Like, that's something I'm going to be paying close attention to this season.
Yeah. So they're playing at, so it's Houston at Minnesota, Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. So I'm assuming JJ will play that game because he needs the reps. He's been out. So, so I'd like to see what happens in that one. They are favored by 3.5 against the Texans. So, so I will be watching very closely that one.
What time's that game?
At 4 p.m. on Eastern on Saturday.
And is that nationally televised?
NFL no. I mean NFL Network.
Okay. I got that. Yeah. That's fine. All right, I got that.
Yeah, should be able to get it. But yeah, so lots of interesting preseason. I love preseason. I know some people don't like preseason. I love preseason because a lot of the players we've been watching are now going to be on the field.
I love watching the players who are at the end of the roster fighting for a job, dude. Like, fighting for their dreams, man. Like, I don't know. I'm into it. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Fourth quarter comes around. If it's not the line, but like the first 2 to 3 quarters, like, I'm really into that shit. And I don't mean just the Lions, like, even, and then I'm also into fantasy football. So like, I'm kind of watching, although you can't get a lot from it, but sometimes you can get a little bit from it.
Absolutely. Folks, definitely check us out on X at TJ_Ronin, at John Diadamo. TJ, you got any final thoughts for us?
Nah, man, just excited for the season. I mean, that's just where I'm at with it. Ready for football, bro.
Yeah, same here. Can't wait. I didn't even realize there were so many games on starting tomorrow night. So, so very exciting. And obviously we'll watch the Michigan Call-In show as well with you and Johnny. This time I'll probably, unless someone comes on that, unless we have another situation like last week, I'll probably get to hang out with Courtney and enjoy some time. But no, as always, appreciate every single one of you, everybody who viewed, everybody who liked, everybody who sent any type of super chat of any amount. Anybody who's a Connor Stallions member, or those who stay member, or a Leaders and Best, all of you rock. And we're about to have an awesome season, y'all. We really are. All right, folks, as always, we're going to wrap up with a note from Mark Rogers, Voice of College Football, on the Amazon link. Until next time, go blue, and we'll see you soon.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.